The sun.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your host, Treem Heff. This is Coachella Magazine, episode 5, sponsored by Palm Springs Grip, and I have a special guest, Jesika von Rabbit.
Hello.
What's happening? What's good? And you are the queen of the high desert.
Yes, I am.
Dang, how'd you get that name?
Well, I just named myself that.
I feel you. And
I thought, hey, if I don't believe in myself, then who else is gonna?
And now you become that.
Yes. Well, now people are. It was kind of in jest, but it seemed to have stuck, and now people are referring to me as that. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess now I'm gonna own it.
I feel you. So what section of, for all the people that don't know, what section of the desert is considered the high desert?
All of it's pretty high.
So Palm Springs, Desert Hot Springs?
No, that's low desert.
Oh, that's low desert?
Yeah, the high desert is when you go up when you take like that grade up into Morongo, Yucca Valley, Joshua Tree.
That little random highway?
Yeah, 29 Palms.
Okay.
Up in the mountains there, where it's elevated.
And what part are you from?
Joshua Tree.
And were you raised out there?
No, I was actually raised in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Wow,
yeah.
Rare. So you're a Packers fan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dang. Cheesehead, huh? Okay, I respect that. So how did you get into music? Was that like always your thing?
I've always been into music since I came out of the womb, I suppose. My mother was a singer while growing up. She was in bands and she sang jingles, and I started taking piano lessons when I was 5, and I loved music immediately. It was always around my house. And I knew from a very young age that's what I wanted to do. So I was lucky in that way that I knew that's my that was my journey. Yeah.
Okay. So what were you listening to when you were young?
I mean, I loved all like the pop hits, like 80s pop radio. I mean, I grew up on that.
Like The Cure?
The Cure, but like, even before that, like Madonna and Boy George and Talking Heads and The Pretenders and anything that was on MTV. I was like an MTV child.
That was like the OG MTV.
Yeah, right? I'm like an OG MTV person.
Okay. So when did you start like making music?
It wasn't until I moved to Minneapolis after high school. I moved to Minneapolis and I started getting into bands, and I had an all-girl punk band called the Pornflakes for a brief moment there.
That's a rare name.
And then I was in this kind of electronic / rock band called the Minx, 2 guys, 2 girls, and we actually were pretty popular. We had a little buzz in Minneapolis for a while, and got some college radio play, and that was great. But I felt like I needed to get out of the Midwest, so I had to up and leave my poor band, and I fled for Los Angeles. Okay. And was pursuing another project there, and it wasn't actually until I moved to Joshua Tree that I met my ex-bandmate. And we formed my old band, Graham Rabbit, and did that for a little over 10 years or so.
So that was like your, I guess, most predominant, as far as making music, was your last band?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Like in establishing your identity?
Exactly. Played Coachella. I've had lots of TV and film licenses, radio play. Yeah, that was kind of when I really made my mark musically, was with Graham Rabbit.
Okay. So you played... I read that you played. You said you played Coachella. I read that you played Joshua Tree Music Festival.
I played Joshua Tree Music Festival.
That's a pretty far out music festival.
Yeah,
I went there once in 2014. It's pretty far out.
Yeah, I just played the last one in fall, in October, and I'd hope to play it again. Okay. But yeah, it's fun.
Do you play any like instruments?
Oh yeah, I write all my music on. I play keyboard is my main instrument, but I've written songs on guitar. I play bass. I play drums a little bit, but I'm best on keys and vocals. Okay. Yeah.
So your newest project is called Desert Rock or Desert Rock.
Well, that's the name of my latest album.
Yeah.
So yeah, the band is Jesika von Rabbit. I have a full 4-piece band, and the latest album is Desert Rock. Not to be confused with Desert Rock, but actually it is. Yeah, it is to be confused actually.
So you said that you produce too.
Yeah.
as well as your music sounds like when I was listening to it, sounds very polished. Like you know.
I mean, I work with another producer. I get it. I record myself and produce pretty decent demos, and then I bring it to my producer, who's actually playing guitar in my band right now, Ethan Allen, and he slicks everything up for me with me. So it's like I'm like, hey, I can get it this good. Yeah. And now let's bring it to the next level. Okay. So yeah, I don't do it all myself too? I record myself and then I bring someone better than me in to take it to the next.
I feel that. Do you play? You said you play guitar.
I've written songs on guitar. I'm not the best guitar player, but I've written songs on guitar, and I write. Yeah, I'll write things on the guitar, and sometimes hand the guitar off to someone else better to perform live, so I can go back to keyboards. But yeah, I've utilized all instruments when it comes to writing music. I've written some songs that stemmed on with a bass riff, but then it's like, okay, here I have a bass player, he can now play this live. But so yeah, I can play a little bit of everything. But like I said, like keyboards is what I've played the longest since I was young. So that's my most solid instrument. Yeah.
Okay. So when would you say you felt like you made the decision to be a full-time musician? That was it. Well, Minneapolis or LA? Or
I mean,
Joshua G.
I always knew that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah, so you made that a while ago.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, sometimes you have to hustle a little bit and take little side jobs and make things, keep money coming in, but that's always been like I've never had a backup plan, put it that way. Okay. So I'm just like floating without a safety net.
Okay. So that's how you make it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Is doing that.
Yeah.
Dang, I had no idea. Because when I was listening to your project, I was like, wow, this sounds very polished. Like it sounds extremely ready for like festivals and stuff.
I agree.
The music is very big.
Thank you.
Real talk. So, what other projects do you have coming out? You have any coming out soon? Because this just dropped in summer 2018.
It came out in September. Okay. So I'm actually in the process. I have a video that's being shot right now for a song off the album, and hopefully I'll be releasing that in the next month or two. I'm playing Friday night in Palm Springs for a benefit show, and I'm playing Desert Stars Fest in Joshua Tree in March, and I'll probably just start writing and recording some new stuff soon, but also still working on videos for the latest album. So,
do you have any videos out for the latest album now?
There are a couple that are out. The song "Going Down" is out. Do You Really Want to Hurt Me, which is a cover of the Culture Club song. Okay. That came out actually a year ago. I had released that before the album. And then there'll be a new one out for a song called My Medicine.
Okay. Yeah. And those are all on...
Yes, Desert Rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for someone that hasn't seen a performance of yours, what is that like?
Well, I like to entertain people more than just the music. So I do have theatrics. I usually like to involve in some aspect. I have dancers that come out, not on every song, but certain songs they come out. I have a song called The Mushroom Haired Girl, and I have two girls that come out in these gigantic mushroom costumes. Trippy. Yeah, I like to create a whole vibe, I like to kind of be a party on stage and to take people out of their normal reality. I like to bring my songs to life beyond just auditory aspect of it and create some visuals to go with it. And when I can, I have a visualist who does projections behind me. But like I said, I have the girls coming out. They come out in bearded gypsy costumes, and they come out in a big banana outfit. And you got to see it.
Like, 'cause the visuals in my head is just like, dang. This
I mean, I like to kind of shock and make people laugh, make people bring them to a little fantasy place or.
I feel that. So did it start off like that for her, or as you progressively started performing?
I've kind of been doing that for a while. My band Graham Rabbit always had visuals, and it's always just been something that seems obvious to me. Like I like colorful things, and I want to put on a whole show. So I don't want it to take away from the music, but I just like to pepper it in there a little bit. So.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Do you ever envision yourself going back to Green Bay, Wisconsin to live?
That's a really funny question.
I've been to Wisconsin, but I've been to Green Bay.
Well, I mean, I was just there for Christmas. You're not missing much unless you're obsessed with the Green Bay Packers. Okay. So, there's not much for me there. My parents are there, and so of course I love them, and I miss them. But it would be hard for me to live there. I always felt like a fish out of water growing up there, even as a small child. So
I feel you.
Yeah.
So do you envision yourself in Joshua Tree, or is that just a stop right now?
No, I've been in Joshua Tree for quite a while, and you know what? I love California. Yeah. Like, I just think it's an awesome state. I've always wanted to be a California girl, and I love it here. I've traveled around the states, and every time I come back to California, I'm always like, I love it here. I love the landscape. I love that you can be at the ocean, or you can be in the desert, and then you can see the mountains. Like, I think there's a little bit of everything here, and the people are really, I feel like I run into a lot of like warm, friendly people here. I mean, there's all types, but I don't know, I just like the vibe in California. I think it's a beautiful state, so
I agree.
I'll be sticking around.
I feel you. Do you think for the long haul? Because that's how I feel. I'm born and raised in California, but I feel like I'll be here.
Cool, you got lucky. You started out here. You didn't have to make your journey here.
I feel you. So going back to your journey, you just knew that when you were in Green Bay, Wisconsin, like, I gotta go to California. Yeah, that's the spot. It wasn't like New York. Miami,
no, I always I was like, Jim Morrison said the West is the best, and I gotta follow his words. Like, I just always want and also like the warmth and the sunshine. Like, growing up in the Midwest, it was it was gray and cold over half the year. So it's like that sunny weather like appealed to me. I don't know, I just grew up watching television shows, and always like everything was in California, and I was like, as a little girl, it's like, yep, that's where I want to go. So.
I feel you. So as far as like, besides like your early influences, like, what do you feel like your music could be compared to?
I've always been kind of hard to categorize my music, because it is a hybrid of a lot of different genres. It's electronic. There's a little bit of, it's a little poppy. Sometimes it's a little more space rocky and heavier. It's a little psychedelic.
Sometimes it's a little dreamy.
Sometimes there's a little tinge of hip hop in there. I like all genres of music, so I've never been able to just settle on like one thing that I do. It's like it's like a recipe, and I'm gonna take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, and put it together. And so, I mean, I guess right now I would just say that it's like electro rock or electro pop. It's kind of, teetering on both of those things, just to be very basic, but it's I'm kind of all over the place.
Do you feel like you're gonna continue like on this wave, or you gonna go to another wave?
I just kind of like let the songs like come out of me, and
True
like
artist. I feel that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, maybe I should just sit down and like just pick one direction, but it's like I really can't. Like, I feel like I'm being true to myself if I just kind of. I mean, I feel like my songs always sound like me. It's not like I'm putting out albums that are so far away from each other. It's like they're all kind of coming from the same place and the same person. So there is some consistent thread in there.
Yeah. It's very, like I said, it's very, very polished. And the fact that you do all those instruments and stuff too, I was like, that was the main thing I was wondering when I was listening. I was like, who's producing and like doing all this?
My guitar player, Ethan Allen, he did a lot of guitar on the new album. So I can't take credit for any of that. But, most of the keyboards and some of the programming and the vocals and other layers. So it was basically him and I making this and writing,
That's the main thing. For which a lot of people do not do is the actual like
writing,
conceptualizing of what's in the song.
Oh, I could never handle someone else doing that for me.
I feel you.
That's unless like there was like a really high price tag, like, here, we're gonna pay you a lot of money and you're gonna sing this. Even then, I would have to like it enough to be like, okay.
Yeah.
But
I feel you. So, do you think you ever go to LA?
Oh yeah.
To live?
To live. Well, I lived there before I came out to the desert.
Yeah.
But yeah, would I consider going back? Like I don't know. Like I feel like I can get there easy enough as it is, and I play there and I can stay there.
Yeah.
That it's a little nicer lifestyle out here.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to live out here and a little more quality.
That's how I feel too.
I'll be stuck in the traffic every day and. Sometimes I miss am I missing out on big city life? But I think if I was back in it every day, I'd be like, oh my goodness, get me back to the desert. Like, I can't think. Like, it's too much stimuli.
Yep.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yep.
Can't leave.
And you're trying to make your art, and then you're having to pay for some extra, some art studio be on top of your rent, and get back and forth, and probably work a job to pay for it all.
Yep.
It's just. Yeah.
I feel you.
I think I've got a pretty good setup out here. I've got my home studio at my house, and I've got 5 acres, and I don't have close neighbors, and I can make a lot of noise, and it's kind of perfect. So.
That's dope. I've been out there a couple times, and it is extremely serene.
Yeah.
There's really no place like it that I've been to. I've been damn near everywhere in the United States. There's nowhere really like Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's special.
It is. So you say you have a show on February 1st?
February 1st at Palm Canyon Roadhouse with a bunch of really great bands, local low desert bands, House of Broken Promises, Giselle Wu, Plastic Ruby, The Afterlashes, Jason Nutter. It's for a charity called Music Heals that helps autistic kids get musical instruments. So that should be a fun night of local talent.
Does it cost to get in?
Actually, just a donation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I'm playing March 15th at the Redwood Bar in Los Angeles, and the end of March at Desert Stars Fest up in Joshua Tree.
Okay, cool. So that's your immediate.
My immediate things, and a video coming out soon. So.
And then continuing to progress.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
I love it. I love what you got going on, man.
Thank you so much.
I haven't really met anybody remotely like you artistically.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's good
to
meet you.
It's a nice compliment.
Do you shout out your social media, your website?
Yeah, Jesika von Rabbit, Jesika von Rabbit on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow me on Spotify. That would be really great.
Get them streams popping for the homegirl, man.
Thank you.
This is Coachella Magazine, episode 5 with Treem Hefner, special guest Jesika von Rabbit, the multi-talented, multifaceted.
Thank you.
It was great meeting you.
Thank you.